right, Elite TeamPlay.com presents EBA Tonight Week in Review. I'm the host with the most ice, the man. I have my boy Truth, JGW with me, and also the magician Mags. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing all right, man. Thanks.
It's me. The truth shall set you free.
The truth shall set you free. Now, we got a lot of action in the EBA this week. Some different things has happened, some movement in the standings. But before we jump into that, let's jump right into the trades. Truth, tell me, how do the trades look for the last week?
Well, we got one trade. The Spurs get Mighty Sponger from the Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers pick up Curry with your thought.
Curry with your thought the Cavaliers got, and they dropped the Mighty Sponger over to the what team did he go to?
San Antonio.
San Antonio Spurs. All right. Let's take a quick look at the standings right now to see where we're at in the league. Let's start with the Eastern Conference. We have the Houston Rockets at 21-3, still leading the top over there, actually leading the entire EBA at 21-3. The Cleveland Cavaliers at 16-8, Chicago Bulls at 9-15, the Memphis Grizzlies is 8-16, and at the bottom there is the Miami Heat at 7-17. Tell me, Truth, what are your thoughts?
I'm surprised actually about how Houston is kind of pulling away from the Cavaliers a little bit. And the Grizzlies, they've been picking up a lot of forfeits lately, so I'm not surprised that they kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, I see the Grizzlies falling down, and the Bulls are picking up some steam as well. They're starting to climb that a little bit. Remember when we did one a couple weeks ago, we were talking about how it's unfortunate that the Bulls were at the bottom, but they figured they'd get it together and started pulling themselves up. I remember that conversation. Houston Rockets at the top dominating. Mags. Can anybody take them off their throne?
I seriously doubt it. As long as Dwight stays healthy, I know they got Ariza back here recently. It just with the two lines that they have, they're absolutely loaded, and just dealing with Fab's line in general is a mess. I mean, they're giving people fits. So, and obviously the other line's holding their own also. So. Just as a team they're just running through people.
Do you see anybody in this Eastern Conference, boys, that can fight them for that top spot? You only have, 2 or 3 weeks left?
Should be 2, and no, I don't see anybody even coming remotely close. No, there's 3. There's 3 because there's 24 games in, so there's 3 weeks left. I just don't see anybody touching them. I mean, I think they take the number 1 seed there in the East, and the Bulls, Grizzlies, and Heat are all going to be fighting for that last playoff spot, which is 9 wins right now, is the last spot. So.
I mean, there are a few games up in that division easily. They could drop a few and still hold that top spot. Let's jump over to the Western Conference real quick here and look at the Golden State Warriors at 18-6, the Sacramento Kings at 14-10, San Antonio Spurs at 13-11, Oklahoma City Thunder at 9-15, the Los Angeles Clippers at 5-19. Now, Truth, I'm going to you because I know you got traded away, got traded back. There was some drama issues. Abyss took up the team. How is it looking? The Los Angeles Clippers are actually winning some games now, and from what I hear, they're winning against good lines. Do you think they have enough time to pull it together and actually make an impact?
Absolutely. One, because everybody on our team gets along. Abyss did a good job of just kind of scraping up a team together. The line I'm playing on, we haven't lost at all playing together. And the thing it looks like is the other people in our conference are starting to fall off, and we're coming up. So I think we might be able to still a playoff spot.
You think you're going to sneak in and snatch a playoff spot from one of these other guys that are there? Now, the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings are fighting back and forth. The Golden State Warriors, of course, is still holding strong at the top. I know when we had our earlier broadcast this week, we discussed about, we actually watched the game between Golden State Warriors and Sacramento Kings, where the Sacramento Kings just fell apart and Golden State just ran all over them. Do you think they're going to do that, still continue to do that to most teams there, Mags?
Well, it's certainly possible, but here's the thing. all those top 3 teams are so close together, it's really hard to call.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Spurs aren't above Sacramento right now, but being the last pick in the draft, in the team draft, Pro put together a pretty decent roster. Now, I know he's had spots here and there. He's had Decipher not showing up for some games. He's had to pull up, and only because I'm on the team, I know the inside drama. But I know he's had to pull, I believe it's Wikipedia up, and then I'm not sure if he's happy with his progress. And he's really making a few tweaks, and this is the time to do it. I believe the trade deadline's right around the corner here. Is it next week or is it this week? This coming up week or is it the following week? I'm sorry.
I do believe it's the end of this week, ain't it true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week coming up,
So
I should say, right?
he's got to figure out and fill the holes within this next week if he wants to make some moves and keep his team aggressive there. I mean, do you see a chance of the Kings pushing in and making any kind of impact in the playoffs?
Oh, it's definitely possible. It's going to be more difficult just because of who they are, and I mean, if Cousins or somebody like that goes down, it's going to make it twice as difficult. But another thing I didn't mention too is with the Thunder, they're playing without KD right now. KD's been out with an injury, and the way 2K rosters work, it sits them out. So as soon as they get KD back, they're going to be a force also.
Do you think that that the Thunder, like you said, once they get KD, do you think they'll make a push for the playoffs? I mean, right now, looking at the playoff picture, we're taking how many to the final show there, and kind of round out the playoff picture for me, if you would, Truth.
We're taking top 6 teams regardless of conference. So just because you're like number 3 in your conference don't automatically mean you make the playoffs. Top 6 teams regardless.
So right now, if we called the playoffs, we got Houston Rockets with the 1st seed. We'd have Golden State with the 2nd seed. One of my beautiful handwriting here. We have Cleveland with the 3rd and Sacramento with the 4th. And then you've got actually, look at that, 9 and 15 and 9 and 15. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got San Antonio make it in with a 5th seed, and the 6th seed is really tied right now between Golden State and Chicago Bulls.
Yep, and I don't think the Thunder will hold it. I don't think the Bulls will hold it either. I gotta have faith that the Clippers will be able to make up ground here and make it in there.
Now the Clippers do still have a chance. I mean, they're not completely out of it. They're still there.
4 games back.
4 games away from actually pushing it here. And I mean, and anything can over in the East too. You have, Minnesota right there at 8 and 16, Chicago at 9 and 15, and Miami's still in the heat at 7 and 17. So that last spot, I mean, to be honest with you, it's all up for grabs. But that last spot is really going to be a sought-after spot for a lot of these teams.
Yeah, Miami just called up Mags, and it's about to be on. So
last time I heard they dropped him because of poor performance. I don't know if that's a real rumor or not.
Pretty sure that happened. So.
Oh goodness gracious! Took a left turn out of nowhere. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I guess you just have poor performance, Mags. It's the way it works, brother. Let's jump right in.
Make pills for that.
Yeah, they do make pills to help you out with that poor performance. Let's jump into some team stats just to kind of see who's leading in what division or what area of the stats here. You got Cleveland Cavaliers at the top scorers of 1750. That's not surprising, right? I mean, with the real Uncle Drew, the scorers they have on that team, LeBron alone, I mean, that they should be leading in points for all the teams. Am I right on that?
I do want to say that after playing against the Cavaliers, LeBron is just a cheat. Like, you don't have to play smart. Like, I've seen both Insane Legend and the real Uncle Drew do nothing but drive into the lane, never hit a jump shot. He have 3 people draped all over him, and he would make the layup easy. And that's just easy buckets right there.
But at the same time, I mean, they know they can get away with that. So, I mean, you're going to use it. I mean, that's what in a way, that's kind of what LeBron does a lot of times. He takes it to the rim, gets to the foul line, makes some retarded stuff that doesn't make any sense. And that's LeBron. It's just like Steph Curry. He steps up 40 feet away from the basket to take a jump shot and drills it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
And what else is just like the real J.R. Smith? You just make the craziest stuff and then miss stuff you should absolutely make. But all of their J.R. Smith score a lot too. And then I see a lot of people bringing in Jared Cunningham at the 2, and he got like a high dunk rating, so he's slashed into the bucket. So I'm not surprised they're leading the league in points.
Looking at the loss wins and loss records we just looked at, and looking over here, I mean, it definitely you can see teams that are struggling more. Memphis Grizzlies, of course, you see them dropping in standings, and you see why when you hop over here, just not putting up games. It got Miami, who's also kind of dropping. They're near the bottom. I mean, these guys are. It's surprising that you see the San Antonio Spurs that low, without and still winning the games that they're winning. It must be their defense pulling them out for them, but you can tell just by kind of looking, just a quick glance without getting too involved, that your big scores. What really surprises me, and I know you guys say, hey, Sacramento, hey, loving right now, but look, that really surprises me. I mean, 1642, he's right up there with these big boys, and you don't have those big boys on your team. That kind of surprised me. I figured I would put Chicago above them. I might, because KD's injured, I'd put Oklahoma City a little lower. I would definitely put San Antonio way up here with all the stuff that they have. They've got so many weapons in San Antonio, even on the bench. I mean, how are you not near the top with them? So, I mean, what do these teams need to do, I guess, other than obvious of getting their offense up? But what do these teams at the bottom here need to focus on to pull their way to the top of the standings? I mean, you can see, like I said, these guys are at the bottom. San Antonio's not, but they're definitely at the bottom of these points standings.
Well,
Well,
one thing I will say, the the Grizzlies and the Clippers, they way down there because of forfeits. Grizzlies was a little bit higher, but they forfeits recently has started mounting up. With the Spurs, I think SJM might need to maybe make some roster moves because 1 through 5 on that team can score.
Oh, that is
Just
the
easy.
truth. The truth is
Yes.
preaching the truth.
So, it might just be player wise, but I know I could go off with anybody on that starting 5, so they should be able to too.
You're talking about LeBron and how broke he was. I wouldn't know. I've never had the privilege of playing on. I'm not good enough to play on a top superstar like that. So I wouldn't. I've got the 2 guard over at the Kings, and I can't make wide open shots when nobody's around me. So I mean, almost hitting it perfect. So I wouldn't know that situation. But if you look at rebounds here, you can really tell why the Sacramento Kings are staying in the game. Rebounds tell a story there. If you've got second, third, fourth chances over there, leading the league in rebounds, Sacramento Kings 641, State at 637, which is surprising considering the State bigs, but they do have good superstars, good players, EBA players that are playing the key positions. Of course, we talked about that a little bit the last time, but down at the bottom again, Memphis and Los Angeles again skipping games. Could you give us a little insight on Memphis? I mean, is something going on down there, or is it just they're trying to get things straightened? Bad eligibility for a week? Holidays rolling up? What's going on?
At this moment, we're trying to get together with Black Jesus and see what's going on. Maybe there needs to be a move made, maybe not, but they forfeited like the last 4 to 5 games in a row. And their team is online, so I don't know what's going on exactly, but hopefully we can get that figured out pretty soon.
Not out of it. I mean, there's still a lot of season left, so you got to get those fixed down there in Memphis and get back around here. Let's take a look at the assists as well, just real quick. You got Cleveland leading, and then Chicago Bulls. Steals, who takes away the ball most? You have the Houston Rockets. Big difference there between the Houston Rockets. I mean, that's what, a 30-point there, 40-point difference between Houston Rockets and Golden State on steals. That's a big turnover difference. Blocks, Oklahoma City Thunders right up there. Not too big of a big gap in those. Turnovers, which I'm going to be honest with the blocks, I'm a little surprised. When this game first came out, everybody was getting blocked. Everybody was forcing the paint.
Yep.
And the ball was getting thrown every which way. And I haven't remembered not watching a game where it doesn't end up in the second row of the seats because it just gets thrown all over the court. So I'm surprised that the blocks are actually, which 174 isn't low, but I'm surprised it's this low. For so far for the season. Turnovers 296. Sacramento Kings do have a turnover problem, obviously. Looking at them, they need to fix that. Who's Memphis, of course, with not playing games, you guys are going to have to be leading, but Cleveland Cavaliers, they hold on to the ball. The Rockets hold on to the ball. You see the teams that hold on to the ball are definitely the guys that are flipped up the opposite side over there. Standings.
One thing I noticed is I'm kind of surprised. Chicago's kind of at the top in rebounds. They're near the top in steals, and those are real important stats. And I don't, well, maybe their turnovers is why, but I would think they would win more games.
Well, if you look on further over there, Truth, like a lot of those teams that are down near the bottom, they're getting the opportunities to shoot the ball, but they're just not making their baskets. They're shooting under 50%. And they're just not converting. If you look at Golden State there at the top, over 50%. Cleveland, over 50%. Sacramento's actually under, which is kind of surprising, but the Rockets, over 50% shooting. Bulls are struggling, under 50%. Thunder, struggling, under 50%. Actually, the Bulls might be right at 50, but Miami, and when I was on the line at Miami, like we were losing games by just a couple of points. You can see right there, weren't shooting 50% as a team. It's just at the end of the day, that's going to add up.
Yeah, that is definitely a good point there. Field goals attempts. I found that the field goal attempt here, you got the Golden State Warriors at the top. However, the most field goals made go by 11 Cavaliers. So it does look like that they're shooting the best percentage out right now. The Cavaliers, which the Cavaliers, which they're making those give me shots, I guess that he's calling them, or whatever you want to call them. But bottom line is they're making sure that they get the opportunity. Basket. Personal fouls. Let's take a real quick look as we go forward here at the individual stats to kind of get a little more in depth on where. For the points, total points overall, you have the real Uncle Drew, which I believe plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers on LeBron. I mean, that's a real thing, right?
Yep.
12 games at small forward. I mean, you've got some small forwards, some shooting guards, a power forward up here. Look at Remix up here with a power forward. Oh, wow, look at that. That's Cousins, I believe, isn't it? Had some killer games when we've played. Mix doing work paint. You've got the top scorers here, MC Sticks, Let's Get It Boy, Mike Man, The Answer, the Commish up there near the top. These guys are all putting the ball in the basket, if I should say, putting the points on the board for their teams, which turn around and relate to wins, of course. As for rebounds, you got Redwater, which plays for the Golden State Warriors. So everybody, when that was made, I remember reading threads, and I remembered the hype that everybody had saying, why would you get Redwater on Golden State? There's no superstar. You can't do it. And then we even watched a couple games. I remember, Truth, you were with me, and he wasn't even playing on the starter. He was putting in the backup.
Festus Ezeli, yes, sir.
And you're still leading the league in rebounds. So obviously,
I don't know how he did it.
The Golden State Warriors knew exactly what they were doing. Get the best superstar you can get, and even if you give him not as good of a player, I would hate to see Redwater on somebody like Dwight Howard. That would be damn scary.
Oh yeah.
Cousins.
I would hate to see him on Hassan Whiteside because he's a monster rebounder if you know how to use him. You don't even have to know how to use him. He just gets the ball. Yeah.
I can't believe that he's just leading the league. It looks almost with ease here. And you also have right up here near the top, you got Budweiser Beast, which is Sacramento, I believe. You got Texas James Smith, Fig, Let's Get It Boy. Kevin, look at Let's Get It Boy. Now he is really getting it, boy, with the points and the rebounds. Look at him over here. 242 points. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the league on points. And he's right there. 5 on the league, 5th in the league on rebounds. I mean,
and yeah, that's the big reason why Houston's on top right there, because of him.
let's get it, boy. Houston is just getting it. Look at him go. Averaging 22 points a game, 12 rebounds a game, a double. Easy. He's only taking 15 shots, but when he takes those 15 shots, he's putting down almost 10 of them. Ouch. So
he's playing on Dwight, which is Dwight's 32.
That's expected, is what you're saying, of him to be pulling that.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, he should be putting up good numbers, but he's definitely doing really good.
Now for the assists, the guys that share the ball most, you got Fabulous up there. Now I hear a lot of people talking Fabulous this, Fabulous that. He's a great player. I think the guy can put up 285 points and turn around and share the ball and see this open people makes him a great player. And with 146 assists, he's blowing away everybody else in assists, even the point guards that have to bring the ball down. I mean, Fabulous, I don't know if they have Howard not Howard, but he plays on
Harden.
Harden, that's who he plays on, Harden. Do you think they have Harden break the ball down? Is that why he's leading so much in assists?
I'm sure they do. A lot of times the Rockets run their offense that way in real life. He's averaging almost 26 points a game and 13 assists. I mean, he's just that's good numbers. I mean, that's a great average to have right now. And with Harden, it is expected, and Fabulous, he's going to do it with pretty much anybody you put him on. So.
Yeah, he's definitely doing work with Harden, it looks like. Mellow Montana, Low End Theory, Charles Universe, SJM 1335, The Real Uncle Drew, and MC Sticks down there. Mike, man, all the top guys leading in assists. Mellow Montana. Go ahead, shoot.
I do want to give a special shout out to Revolves. I feel like if you would have been playing on the Clippers the entire season, he will be up there too, because he has been an assist machine with our line. He even had an assist with 21 in there. So he's doing a real good job with Chris Paul sharing the ball.
When I was able to be called up for a few games with the Kings, and Low End Theory, a.k.a. E-Money, moved to point guard, I was like, uh-oh. But he shares the ball good. He's got good court vision, and he's right up there in assists as well. He's right there with him, which is surprising because he's played more games as a small forward than he has a point guard thus far. But I can tell you most of those assists is probably pretty certain, and I can click into his name and find out, came from the last few games he's been playing at the point guard, the Sacramento Kings. Let's see where we at. Assists. See 10, 16, 12, 18, 13, 7, 9, 9. Struggled a little bit this past week, but it does look like, they switched him over to point guard. That's when you've seen his assist go from start popping up. Where he's actually averaging almost 10 assists a game, which is to push that up a little bit, and he can average a double-double. So definitely shout out to E-Money for steals. Who's taking the ball away the most? You have Fabulous at 43 and the real Uncle Drew. I mean, two major superstars there. Mellow Montana 34, Cuban 33, tied with Marty McFly. Look at that, low end right there as well. So he's working assist and he's taking the ball from the other side of the court. Chumpert Life, the Money Team, and Charles Universe are all in the top. Very good stat to own there at 43. But I mean, is that surprising to see Fabulous and the real Uncle Drew up there taking the ball away?
No, but look at Cuban at power forward up there in the steals. That's kind of surprising.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's actually moved over to the 3. And you got to remember, with their power forward, with their power forward, you're probably using Harrison Barnes or somebody like that. So that actually does make sense.
I know the last time when I seen him play, he went head-to-head, and he matched up with Pro on the opposite side at the 2. And remember the game we did earlier this week? He did work at the 2.
He played on Clay.
They might be bouncing him around a bit, and that's where he's getting his steals from. So I don't know if power forward, but I absolutely agree with you that that's definitely something to look at. That he's played 7 games at power forward, and he still is up there in the steals. So that's a big shout out to him. Throwing the ball the other way. Look at Redwater 46. Don't bring it into his house. He owns that area. Fig, Kevin, call me Kyle. Kel, Smiley Face, and King John, Budweiser Beast, Master Quickie, Let's Get It Boy. All of these guys are right up there in the 30-plus blocks. That's pretty impressive. I would say 46 blocks so far on the season. That's what's that average out for Mr. Red to the Water there? He's got about
It's
3.8 a
especially
game.
impressive with Festus Ezeli. Like, how's he doing it with that guy? That's really impressive.
Yeah, he didn't play the whole game with Festus, but yeah, majority of the game you were asking why does he have Festus in? Here we go. We could
We find
definitely.
out why.
Yeah, he definitely doing. Seeing Low End Theory's name pop up a few here, which is E-Money. You're definitely seeing him up there. Now on turnovers, which is a stat he doesn't want to be leading in. Mike Mann as well. The answer, the commish is up there. Trainer, Ev, all 40 plus. Let's get it, boy. And the real Uncle Drew. I mean, when you touch the ball as much as the real Uncle Drew, let's get it, boy. I imagine you're going to have some turnovers. And I noticed a lot, and I heard something that they were fixing this, but I did notice that inside the paint when you push it in, if you have like one pump fake and then almost have to go because it seems like the little guys just walk by you and it comes right out of your hand. So counts as a turnover. Or it bounces off you and goes out of bounds, counts as a turnover. Other than Low End Theory, which is a point guard right now, that's where he's getting the majority of his turnovers from. Other than that, I mean, what do you think these big guys are? Do you think that's an issue for these big guys?
Absolutely. Like, you can't do anything almost. As soon as you touch the ball and there's guards around you, you're going to lose it.
I like coming in here and just going at who's taking the most attempts, who's shooting the ball. The real Uncle Drew should with the who he has. You got Remix, MC Stags, Insane Legend. He's throwing these points up the most. And then I like to see about where they are if they're actually out there on the points floor. But I mean, taking a look at the stats, does anybody really stick out at you as a other than these guys here that are just going insane on the points? Is anybody really sticking out at you as the so far MVP of the season?
I think it's going to be a three-way race right now between Uncle Drew, Fabulous, and Let's Get It Boy. Just all around really good stats. Remix is close enough to make a run there. But those three, just I don't know that anybody can catch them. Just the numbers that they're putting up are ridiculous.
Yeah, and all of them
If
playing
it's
really good players too. So I mean that helps, but also their skill is unmatched.
now, as I would say, let's get it, boy, because skill wise, and this is just my personal opinion and nothing against the guy, I didn't see like good skill with LeBron James. I seen like if there was just an average player and the way they played, like it's not good. It just kind of force it up a lot, and they get what they want. And I don't see skill in that. Where let's get it, boy. Like, you have to have skill to be good down low with a lot of points and rebounds. Like, you don't get nothing free for you.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story about the real Uncle Drew. I actually didn't even know who this kid was. We jump into a party. This is a little while ago when the game first came out, and he picks the Warriors. And with Steph Curry, he lights up something like 56 points. I wasn't playing against him, but a good point guard, I won't call him out, was playing against the opposite side and just could not stop the kid. And I thought, holy crap, if he gets Steph Curry, the league is done with. I mean, he's just going to blow everybody away. But he gets LeBron James, which is arguably just as good, and he's still blowing everybody away in points. But let's be honest, isn't that what you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, for instance? Isn't that what superstars are supposed to do? I mean,
Was like, okay, I will flip side that. Like, the game we played against the Warriors, the guy who was going off with Steph Curry, the stuff he was doing looked more skill based on just how he was playing. Or other people I've seen play, like, they just make good reads, take good shots. I didn't see that with LeBron. I just seen just kind of do whatever and it'll go your way instead of just.
Here's the thing with pick, user pick, and that's who the Uncle Drew is. If people don't know, I mean, you should know. But anyways, he's more of a point guard. I haven't seen him play with LeBron, so I really don't know. but he's more of a point guard. Steph Curry fits his style. I'm sure that he might be playing Kyrie if Kyrie was actually in the game and healthy right now. I would venture to say he might play on Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie is the real Uncle Drew. So it's
he
just one of those things. Like, he is a really, really good point guard. And maybe he's forcing it. I mean, you got to force it with LeBron. So maybe he's forcing his play style to be a little different since he has LeBron.
Yeah, and I've seen the exact same thing out of Insane Legend. Like, you could just kind of swap those two out, and it would be the exact same play style. And maybe that's what you got to do with LeBron. And I'm not saying he's not a good player, but
is Insane Legend
choice, I would just
also
choose.
on the Cavaliers?
Insane Legend, yes. They both play LeBron.
Oh, so
and
that's
I play
both LeBron. Okay. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, they both LeBron. Yeah.
And they're both doing their job, looks like.
Yeah, I mean, both putting up points. It definitely looks like. I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers are at 16-8 on the season, so they're definitely helping their team win. So that's their job as LeBron. So let's move on. Let's take a look. I just want to bring something up real quick. As the league knows, and as everybody at Elite Team Play knows, the stat system we kind of had to patch together with some duct tape. Had some guys working on it throughout the season. We've had many issues to start. I appreciate everybody holding on, looking through the stats, pointing out issues for us. Thank you so much. But we're constantly trying to make updates. When me and Mags founded this website along with Blaze and Fatal and some other guys, we wanted a site that continually progresses and moves forward. Not something that'll stay stagnant for a year, 2 year, 3 year, and you get the same features that you've always had. So with saying that, I want to introduce a quick feature that we just added. Now, it's small and minor. However, to me, it's important. One of the problems I had when I want to find me, even though I only played a few games, I wanted to find my stats. I couldn't find them. I had to go through each individual and search down by alphabetical order. I had to do something very similar to this here that I'll show you. I had to go in and really pull up each individual, each individual alphabetical order. Had to scan down until I find Ice the Man. Now we've added the feature to where anywhere you see your name, pretty much you can click on. So I can go directly to the rosters page, say Ice the Man, I could click on it, and it'll take me right into my own stats. So I don't have to search and say where do I stand comparably. I can easily open up another window and compare myself to the real Uncle Drew, which I wouldn't want to do. But compare myself to some of the top guys in the league to see where I stand. Don't look at my horrible stats. I'm not even averaging a poor double-double here with them two. But I know, right? 3 games I gotta have. I mean, I had a good game this game, but I'm telling you, it's rough. I seen poor Crow trying to play the shooting guard position in that game we covered, and I just felt sorry for him because I know his struggle there. But, I mean, you do see, look at that. That's right, baby. Career total. I've only turned the ball over 1 time. That's right. Called me the brick wall in 3 games. Anyway, it's really neat feature. Check it out, guys. If you want to look at your own stats, we don't want to just highlight the top guys of the league. Of course, they're very important, but you want to see where the truth over here. Let's see where he ranks.
Oh my God.
Let's tear him apart here. Big 500K. I went unpaid. Look, somebody paid you, and I'm right there with you now. 16 points. That's not bad a game. How many games did you play here? 7 games. They under 18 points. That's not too bad. I mean, you're putting your points up. We usually play on over there at the Clippers, the 2 or the 3.
I've been the first few games besides the last 2 were all at as Wesley Johnson. My last 2 was Jamal Crawford. So I moved to the 2 with my new line mates.
Well, you should put up with JJ. Isn't that who's playing the 2 over there? JJ Redick?
Yeah, no, he blows. Like, he has a 94, 95 mid-range, and you can't make nothing with him. So I put in Jamal Crawford. I learned that the hard way.
Well, let's take a look here. Let's wrap the show up. Take a look at what's coming up in the next week for games of the week. I mean, I would have to probably go with the first game that pops up here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That looks like something that you got the Cleveland Cavaliers at 16-8 versus the Golden State Warriors at 18-6. So definitely a flip there, but you've got 2 wins away. This will be a very good game. Definitely a game to watch. Do you see any games in here that you think would be a good game to pay attention to this week?
Well, I am
Keep on
unprepared, so
scrolling.
let me pull it up.
Right there, stop.
Golden State
10 p.m. Golden State and the Rockets. That'd be a good one to watch right there.
Sunday, Golden State and the Rockets. There's a good game to take a look at. That's going to be a
Well,
great game. You got the number 1 Houston Rockets against the number 2 Golden State Warriors league. That'll be a good one to watch. Watch Dwight Howard do paint, water, and the boys can slow him down.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
actually, we might have the EBA tonight. That one.
That might be a real thing. Let's put it on the schedule. Let's see if we can handle that tomorrow at 10. Let's see if we can't watch that one. I'd love to sit with you guys. Watch, Golden
Yeah.
State. Watch
I
Golden
actually
State
have
and the
to play.
Rockets.
But
Yeah, if I don't have to play, I forgot about
Oh,
that.
you're playing the Kings. You can skip that game.
I have to play the 10 and the 11, so, you know.
Oh, I want to see you two play each other.
Me, they won't have me. I'm bad. They won't put me in the game. I asked Crow when I get another shot, and he told me when I get better. So
There you go.
I told him never mind. I'm going to join the EFL where I can actually play. So
I mean, he's blacklisting people, so he might.
I know.
need-
I'm
You never
begging.
know.
Yeah, the sad part is he looks down in the training camp and goes, yeah, like a few guys down here other than Ice the Man. He keeps sifting over me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move on. I'm hoping that I'm hoping it gets so bad where he's like, well, at least you show up, you can play. So I'm like, woo! I'm hoping it gets that bad, but again, I hope not, because then I actually have to do something on it. So I mean, you've got some really good games this week, guys. Take a look. Jump on EliteTeamPlay.com. Tell your friends, family, tell everybody about EliteTeamPlay.com. Come join us. EBA. This is EBA tonight, guys. Any last passing words before we head out?
I'm good.
I do want to say, if you have been blacklisted and you feel you have been unfairly blacklisted, make sure you have your evidence to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it, or, make sure you have your evidence to show us that you made an effort to communicate with your owner so we can handle that for you. And the truth shall set you free.
And the truth shall set you free. Thank both of you for giving up your night tonight and sitting with me for 5 minutes here and everything. Thanks to everyone that plays at EBA tonight and at EliteTeamPlay.com. Or thanks for everybody that plays at EBA and EliteTeamPlay.com for giving us the opportunity to have fun on the court. Guys, see you on the court.